Hey, what's happening, everybody? It's Ken Valdez. I am doing a quick little demo video of these three boxes that you see in front of you. These are made by Mojo Hand Effects. I've been very fortunate to be on their artist roster and have been for a few years now. And they just keep turning out just amazing products. Recently acquired by the Cusack Company, and it's just the quality is there and the sounds are there. And I'm really excited about the stuff that they're turning out these days, man. It's fantastic. So in front of you, you see the Rook Royale, the Extra Special, and the Sacred Cow. I'm kind of going to be focusing a little bit on the Sacred Cow, and I'm going to do this kind of quick just because I'm going to show you some of my favorite settings on each of these pedals and kind of show you that Sacred Cow and how it works very, very well with both of these. Now, the Rook has been a staple since I got it back, what, 5-6 years ago now, and it hasn't left my board. This obviously is the Royale, so it has the Echoplex preamp, side, that boost, that is also very, very cool, and I found it very useful, not using it as a boost, but rather supplementing, if you will, the drive side of the Rook. It seems to open up the Rook side when you engage it. So I'll show you that, as well as the Extra Special, which is their high-end DMBL pedal. And of course the Sacred Cow, which is their clone of that really infamous gold pedal with a mythological creature on it. Any which way, let's get into this. I'm running right now through my Quilter Micro Pro Mach 2 head into a 212 cabinet loaded with Eminence, an Eminence Patriot and an Eminence Redcoat. And I'm playing my Delaney Austin KV signature guitar. And that's just a quick little bass sound. That's clean tone all the way through here. Now I'm going to go ahead and kick on this Rook. Now this is typically the setting that I have. I like a lot of low end, and I get most of that from my amp. So when you see me play live or catch me in the studio, a lot of times I'm going to be really beefing up my guitar sound. So I like a lot of that low end. This has it in droves, and as you can see kind of on the pedal right now, my treble is up a little bit more so than I typically would have, most other pedals. But my low end, which is right up there, is pretty much running at noon, because I have a lot of low end coming through this amp, and for the sake of this video, that's what's sounding all right to me. I do have the drive all the way up, the toggle switch all the way up, and my level is at noon. So there you go. This is my favorite overdrive of all time. Right? So there you go. That's that's my pickup on the neck position, which I typically play more often than not. Right? So what I was talking about was when you engage the this side here, I run these at noon, but I want you to listen to the sound, the comparison. Right? And it's going to open it up a little bit more. So it adds a little bit more, in my opinion, probably a little bit more low-mid characteristic to the sound, but it just makes it kind of come alive, It gives a little bit more of a 3D kind of sound, which I love. Now, I'm going to go on to the Extra Special, which is their DMBL high gain series. Now, check this out. I have my gain on this, like on the Rook, I have it dimed. I like a lot of gain, especially with pedals that are, low to mid gain, which I still believe this is. This has a little bit of a different voice, and it seems to be very prominent in the mids. So I'm going to go ahead and turn off my Rook here, and again, here's the clean tone. Might be a little out of tune there. You'll get the idea. So here's the Extra Special. It sounds fantastic. It sounds so good. It has a little bit more hair than the Rook does, but it's still very, very useful. There's plenty gain on tap, but it's still very articulate and it's very amp-like. You see, so the tone and I believe the accent control, in my opinion, really control a little bit more of the mid frequency. So this is one of those pedals, in my opinion, that's kind of like a tweaker's dream, right? Like if you're down with tweaking your pedals and tweaking your rig a little bit, this one is definitely for you. A lot of the sounds on here, there's so many to be had. It's kind of deceiving. There's a lot of sounds to be had off of the Extra Special, but what I can tell you about it is they're all usable. So it's really to your heart's content what it is that you want to get yourself into with this pedal, the Extra Special. So there you go. And that's the setting that I typically use. So I'm going to show you something here. I'm going to just adjust the tone a little bit. Obviously a little bit more high end. But there's a very prominent mid there. And I love this pedal so much. It's just an incredibly versatile pedal. I typically use this one a little bit more in the studio than a lot of the others. So that brings us to this guy over here, the Sacred Cow. Now you see this toggle switch. You have the lean side, which I believe is just your standard clone, if you will, and you have the fatty side, which gives you a little bit more roundness. And of course, I like the roundness, so I'm flipping that guy over there. I definitely use this as a boost. And if anybody out there is familiar with those, gold pedals, you'll know that they color the sound in such a way that's very pleasing. It's very, again, it focuses a lot on the mids, and it kind of brings out the best of your overdrives. I definitely use this as a boost. However, it's got a lot of great characteristics on its own to make it very, very usable. Probably a little bit more usable than a lot of other clones and even that gold pedal itself. So the way that I have this set up is as so. Kind of, bringing out a little bit more of those, making it cut, making my overdrives cut. But the thing is, as you can hear, with this on alone, it still sounds fantastic. So I run my amps clean, and I let my boxes do the rest for me. So I'm of that ilk, if you will. And again, the Rook is just it's been on my pedal for years, my pedal board for years, and it stays on about 99% of the time when I do play. This Sacred Cow is definitely finding some time. I'm just loving what this brings. So I want to show you here with the Sacred Cow what it does with the Extra Special and with the Rook. So here we go. Let's check this out. So we got the Rook right here. My favorite OD, always. All right, let's bring that Sacred Cow on in, and it's boosting a little bit. That's what it does. It just brings out like the best of that pedal, man, and it really just helps us sing and accentuates those frequencies that just give it such a wonderful tone. I'm gonna go ahead and kick this guy on here, and I got the Sacred Cow going too. So. right, with so again, the Rook is just outstanding, and with the Sacred Cow, it is just screaming. Great, great tones coming at you, man. So let's go ahead and move on to the extra special, the DMBL high gain pedal of theirs with the Sacred Cow. Let me turn this guy off. Show you this one more time here. I love this pedal, man. I love this pedal. Now let's bring in. So there you go. There you have it. I love these pedals, man. They're making some quality stuff. And again, this is my go-to. This is my guy. The Rook is always on my board. I use the Royale a little bit more in the studio just because of this guy right here. It opens everything up as I showed you. The extra special is just, it's so amp-like, and it's so tweakable. It's so fun to just kind of mess around with and see what kind of tones you can come up with. It's great on the lower gain sides. It's killing on the higher gain sides. And of course, the Sacred Cow, which happens to be, pardon me for that, which happens to be just one of the most amazing clones out there. It's at the top of the heap, in my opinion. So there you have it, you guys. Please check out Mojo Hand Effects, Cusack Music, and also me, Ken Valdez. Talk to you later.